There was a long period of my life where I didn't like myself or love myself. I had a really abusive stepfather growing up. I just remember him like strangling me and just like looking into his eyes and just seeing like just dark eyes, like scary, like the veins were like popping. So I kept a lot of it in, and I think by turning to food, it was just like my outlet. It just brought me a lot of comfort.
Safety, man.
Safety.
Do you have forgiveness for him?
Only just recently. I don't have anything to do with him. I don't ever want to see him again, but I forgive him for what he did.
That's your superpower. Sit here, talk about it, embrace it. No, that's where I come from. This is who I am.
Yeah.
That's you. You can't change it. That's my story, and I'm going to fucking use that as my fire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need to do, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it. It's a clear story, but what you write next is up to you.
Yes.
You know, you need to really use this as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you come from, and what are like the earliest childhood memories?
Okay, so I'm originally from Perth. I moved over here in 2007. But my child, like, you want to know about my childhood?
Yeah, let's just.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
go to my childhood.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Even tell us a little bit about yourself now, like where you're from. So you're originally from Perth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give us a little bit about who you are, and then we can reverse the clock a little bit.
Yeah, it's just hard because a lot of my like issues with weight stem from my childhood. Like that's where it all started. I had a really abusive stepfather growing up. So that's where I feel like my issues with weight started.
Mm-hmm.
So he adopted me when I was like 2 years old, and my other brother. But he was really, really abusive, like a really.
So he was your stepfather?
Stepfather, yeah.
Stepfather. And did he come in, how did he come into the picture? So obviously it adopted you, meaning with your mother?
Yeah, me and my brother were adopted by him. So
Yeah.
I was like 2 years old when my mum met him, and he adopted us. And then my mum and him had 2 other kids. So growing up, I was always, I'm just trying to remember when it started. It started really, really young. I think the first time I remembered, it was like Christmas, and I remember, like, I think I was like about 8 years old. Like, this is probably one that just stays in my mind because it was, pretty
Heightened
traumatic.
emotions.
Very traumatic, yeah. I remember Mum, we were wrapping the Christmas presents and writing the names and that. And she said, all right, that one's for Dad from me. So I remember just writing to, I won't say his name, but to blah, blah, and from blah, blah, blah. I didn't say to Mum or, to Dad from Mum. And then Mum said, oh, why did you write our first name? Why did you write our first names and not to Mum and Dad? To
Dad.
Mum from Dad. Sorry, to Dad from Mum.
Yeah.
And I said, because it's from you and you don't call each other Mum and Dad. You call each other, by your first names. And I remember he was sitting in the kitchen eating like Chinese food or something like that. And he overheard and he was like, what? Get in here now. And I knew what that meant. I knew that I was in trouble because, I was always getting into trouble by him. No matter what I did, I'd always, get. So basically I went into the kitchen and I tried to explain why I wrote that, but he didn't want to hear it and literally just got up and I ran into like the lounge room. And I remember he like chased me and grabbed me and like threw me to the floor. And then there was one point he threw me into the Christmas tree or the decoration. Like, I just remember just everything flying around, tinsel, the balls, everything like that. And my mom's just like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And he didn't. And I just remember him like strangling me and just like looking into his eyes and just seeing like just dark eyes, like scary, like the veins were like popping like on the side of his neck, and you could see the veins just popping out like up here and stuff like that. And I just remember just being so scared. And then just at that point, I blacked out. And I remember just waking up and I like peed myself, like the carpet. It's a big patch. Like that's how bad it was. But there were so many other there were so many other times like I went through abuse like that. So it was.
Do you know if alcohol was involved?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He was a big drinker and was about like really into gambling and stuff like that. So he was a really, really big drinker. 100%. And there's other times that I went through stuff like that. And that's when I started turning to food from that young age. Like I got comfort from eating food. I don't know, like I don't know, like it just brought me joy. I wasn't getting it at home, you know what I mean? Like mum was good, but mum didn't see a lot of it when she was at work or, if she was out and stuff like that. And a lot of it I didn't tell her because I was too scared, because if she had confronted him about it, then I would have copped it the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I kept a lot of it in. And I think by turning to food, it was just like my outlet of just, I don't know, like it just brought me a lot of comfort.
Safety, man.
Safety. And that's where it started. Because I was always a skinny kid, like, and my siblings, they're all skinny. But with me, I started putting on weight. I think I remember starting to get a bit bigger when I was about 9, 10. That's when I started. Legit would just turn to food. And it did get out of hand because I would, when everyone was asleep, I would go sneak food out of the fridge or overeat. But yeah, I've realized now that when I, on this journey now of losing all this weight, I really like dug deep and looked into how did this all start? And I had like an inkling, I always knew, but when I really looked into it, I'm like, it really stems from when I was a kid and the abuse. And he was really, really, really bad person.
I want to ask, do you have forgiveness for him?
Only just recently.
Yeah.
When I started really focusing on self-love, and it was important for me to forgive him. It was really hard to, by the way, like it was really hard to, but I don't want to hold on to that anymore. I want to release that. I don't want that to hold me back anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't have anything to do with him. I don't ever want to see him again, but I forgive him for what he did. And that's more for me.
Of course.
I just want to.
People hold on to things and they think it's poison to the other person, but the only person it's poison to is yourself.
100%.
I think it's the number one thing on the journey to healing is to forgive the other person, because it's like taking poison. Like I said, expecting the other person to feel the pain, but you're the only one that's going to feel it.
That's it. Yeah. And that's why it was important for me to get that poison out, release it, and just forgive and move on. That song Praying by Kesha, like that got me. I listened to that a lot because it just reminded me of my stepdad. And and he's the main reason as well. Like there was a long period of my life where I didn't like myself or love myself. There was a time when I was like about 13 or 14. I remember, I don't even know how it started, but I remember all my siblings were sitting in the lounge. My mum was there as well. And just started into me. I don't even know how it started, but this was more like, it wasn't him hitting me or anything, but he just started saying, because obviously when I was about 14, like I started getting a bit chunkier. Like
how much would you have weighed at around 14?
I reckon easily in like the 80s.
Yeah.
Or like 14, like maybe 85 kilos or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember him just saying, it was one night and he was like, look at you, look how fat you are. You're disgusting. You're so ugly. He was saying all this stuff to me. And at one point I was thinking, is this real? Like I couldn't believe it was happening. You know what I mean? And I remember my siblings were all there and they were just quiet. And no one could say anything because, look, my other siblings, they did not go through what I went through. Like I don't know why, maybe I was the oldest. He just didn't like me, but they didn't go through what I went through. My brothers maybe got a slap every now and then, but I went through beatings that is, I would say, definitely like child abuse. Like it wasn't just like a little slap or a belt or whatever. Yeah. It was choking, punching, slamming against walls. My head smashed against the brick wall. Like it was, brutal.
It's the reflection of him and who he's. Do you know if he was abused as a child?
He was.
Yeah, and it's just.
And that's
It's got it. Yeah.
Apparently, his father was exactly the same, and he went through that as a child, and
you're breaking that curse now. So you are where the buck ends. You know, you could have taken that situation and gone either way. You've chosen to. The buck ends here with you, which is, you're breaking that generational curse, which is a big thing to have on your shoulders now, and you've got a journey ahead of you, but it's a beautiful thing that you've stopped that.
I look at, when I visit my sister, she lives in New Zealand, and when I see her with her kids and they're like the age that I started going through the abuse and how good their dad is with them, it's nice to see, but it's also hard for me to see that as well because I never got to experience that. You know what I mean? Like I look at them and I think, how could anyone do that to a kid? You know what I mean? Like, so it is hard, but like I said, I do forgive him for what he did. And, but that is the reason why I've been overweight a big period of my life. You know what I mean? So that's definitely where it stems from.
At what age did he start the abuse?
It would have been from from my earliest memory, probably maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like you've experienced the traumas and then you found comfort in food. In your early teens, like heading into high school, what was that like, and what was the journey through high school like?
High school was good. Like I was always the fat funny kid, you know what I mean? The class clown. I made people laugh. I like making people laugh, So that was good. I actually did like going to school because it got me away from being at home. School holidays, I would always go to my grandparents. Like I would stay there the full 2 weeks. Just to get away from my stepdad, you know what I mean? But high school, it was good. Look, there were some kids that would make fun of my weight but that's just, I remember I did a talent show at school and I did Waterloo by ABBA. And then one kid just started chanting, ABBA, flabba, ABBA. And then everyone just started doing it. And I was like, oh my God. And then, for about a couple of weeks after that, everyone just called me ABBA, flabba. But look, it did hurt. I remember, do you know what? If someone It was only maybe about a year and a half ago that if someone had called me fat, it really would have just cut me and I would have been devastated. You know what I mean? Like, but if anyone was to say that to me now, it doesn't affect me. But yeah, I would say growing up as a teenager, if anyone did say anything about me being fat, it would hurt. You know what I mean? And especially in my early 20s and 30s and stuff like that. If anyone wanted to hurt me, it would definitely have been by calling me fat. Like, I don't know, it just would always shut me down in an argument. I think as well, like with my siblings, if I ever had a little fight with my siblings, I, it would be blah, blah, blah. And then they would say fat and it would just shut me down. And then I'll just walk away. It just, I don't know, it used to really calm me down. It doesn't anymore. But yeah, high school wasn't too bad. Like I said, I had every now and then people calling me fat and stuff like that. But yeah.
How big were you, like at the peak?
What, in high school?
Or just in,
like the biggest you've ever
like
been.
Was high school like, were you actually massive or did it come even more later in life?
Oh, there's different stages, right? High school, I would say I probably got to about year 12, I was probably like about 130 kilos, maybe 125, 130 kilos. And then after, I remember I was 18, I got to about 150. And then
150.
150.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
And then I was about 21 or 22 and I lost 70 kilos.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I did that. I did the light and easy and then started walking every day and stuff like that. And I did that. But I went back to my old ways pretty much as soon as I got to my goal weight.
Yeah.
And then the weight it come back and then plus more. The biggest I got was 205 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was how long ago from today, roughly?
205 kilos. I was 205 kilos in March 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the journey is very fresh.
That's when it's, yeah.
And what, going to delve into how that journey began in say from 2021 to now? What's been the journey like?
So,
and also like, what was life like at that point though? At being like 200 kilos, like what does life consist of? Is it normal? Are you working?
at the time I was working for Foxtel. That was like call center, inbound sales. So it was fine because I was sitting in a comfy chair at work. You know what I mean? Like it was fine. Then I was made redundant. And I thought, okay, cool. What do I want to do with this money? And I started a crystal infused candle company that it took off really well. Like I ended up getting my own warehouse. We had several stockers, like a lot of stockers. Maya even wanted to stock our range and stuff like that. But then COVID just ruined everything. Stockists weren't ordering because they were shut and, the online orders just weren't enough, and then the suppliers, everything just with inflation just went up and we didn't want to raise the prices with that because they were already like $70, $80 candles, you know what I mean? So then it just, unfortunately I had to let that go. But in 2021, there was a moment where I thought I was having a heart attack. I was taking the rubbish bin out the front. I just felt a thing in my arm. And I always knew, because being big, I always knew I'm at risk of having a heart attack. I'm like massive, like I'm 205 kilos. Like I was always aware that this day would come, you know what I mean? Like I always thought, I better do something before it happens. And I remember that day, like I felt this pain. I was like, oh shit, I think I'm having a heart attack. And then I got in my head and I think I just started to freak myself out and just having like anxiety. I don't know. I just started to feel really funny and I collapsed on the floor. And I was there by myself. And I remember thinking, I got this is it. Like I didn't know like I was literally like black going in and out. And my dog was there, like scared, just beside me. And I just didn't know what was happening. I thought this was it. Like I thought, I'm going to die right now. Like, and I remember just laying there and I was like, just freaking out. Like I was really, really scared. And I said, I remember saying to God, I'm like, God, I don't want to die yet. I'm too young. Like I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I will. Like, it was just like, I want to live. Like I remember just saying, I don't want to die. I want to live. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't until I actually got to the hospital. I had to do that all alone because it was during COVID as well. So I had to go in there by myself. I went up there and I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. And they put me on a bed. And I just remember being wheeled around. I was really embarrassed as well because there were all these people just watching me like on the sides being wheeled away. And I just knew what they would be thinking, you know, like, oh, I bet he's having a heart attack. You know, he's so massive. He's obviously having a heart attack. Like I was like really, really embarrassed. And I remember they took me into this room and all this stuff all over me. And I was just freaking out. This is, what have I done? Like so basically I had to wait for the results. Like they did a blood test and wanted to check with the monitors and stuff like that. And I was laying in the room. I had to wait in there for a couple of hours until I got the results. And I remember just laying there and I said to myself, it's like, this is legit rock bottom. This is my rock bottom. And I said to myself, this isn't just about weight anymore. This is more than that. This is whether or not I want a future, you know? And that was my moment, my aha moment where I was like, I need to make a big change and I need to do it now because being 205 kilos, I'm just.
What a blessing that was. That was the biggest life blessing.
Yeah.
We and Jonathan talk about it all the time. Sometimes just like you can go through life really complacent and nothing bad happens, or like it's just kind of like you just become really comfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that knockout moment. You need that one thing that like wakes you up.
Yeah.
Because you could have not had that moment and, you know, still today being 250 kilos because you don't have that. That's, to me, that's like an intervention, like a divine intervention. So it's a blessing that happened to you because it woke you up.
It definitely woke me up. That's when I decided. I was like, I'm going to get the gastric sleeve surgery done. The gastric sleeve surgery, I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do it. I've had friends that have done it, and I remember one of my colleagues at Foxtel had it done, or two people actually. And I just remember just hearing other people, some people like, oh, wow, have you seen so-and-so? They're looking great. And then I remember one of the colleagues going, but she cheated. She didn't do it properly. She did it the easy way. You know what I mean? There's that stigma where people think that getting the gastric sleeve is like magic and it's just like, bippity boppity boop.
Do you want to explain what the gastric sleeve is?
So pretty much the gastric sleeve, I had my stomach. I had 80% of my stomach cut out. So my portion sizes are really small. But it's basically just, removing a big chunk of your stomach.
So then when you eat, you just feel full a lot quicker?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my portion size before were like massive. There's no way I can eat anything like that now. Like my meals are very small, like really, really small. But I try to eat, I try to eat throughout the day, like just smaller portions, just so I'm still getting my protein, because protein is really important for people that do have the gastric sleeve. You need to make sure you're keeping up your protein and obviously your vitamin intake. But the gastric sleeve definitely did save my life.
Well, can you explain the gastric sleeve? So they've cut out some of your stomach and they've replaced it with a sleeve. Like what's
they just stitched.
Oh, that's it. So the gastric sleeve isn't physically a sleeve. It's literally just removing a section of your stomach.
Because if you look at it, like the stomach where they cut that big chunk out, then it just looks like a sleeve.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I've never really heard the concept. So
so
all new to me.
Yeah, most people wouldn't really know what it is.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, so it basically, they just went in, took 80% of my stomach and then stapled it back together.
So they're not removing the fat, they're removing the actual stomach.
The actual stomach, yeah.
So then you still have the fat. So nothing to do with removing fat. It's literally just okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Removing the fat would be like liposuction.
Okay, so you're just making your stomach smaller so you eat smaller portions. That's literally it.
So you still have to put in the work. You still have to eat right. You still have to exercise and everything like that. Yeah. Look, I had a lot of weight. I was 205 kilos, right? When I had the surgery, I had to then, after the surgery, before the surgery, I lost 30 kilos by myself before even getting the gastric sleeve, because my surgeon wanted me to, lose a bit of weight so they can so the stomach's behind the liver. So I had a fatty liver. So they wanted me to shrink my liver it would be a smoother operation for my surgeon if they had better access to my stomach. So I was like 100%, I want it to be as smooth as possible, right? So I followed the pre-op diet, which was brutal. It was just shakes and shakes and shakes. And I did that and lost 30 kilos. And then after the surgery, I had to just drink liquids for 2 weeks. Then it was pureed food for 2 weeks. And then it was soft foods for 2 weeks. After that, I could go back to eating normal food. And that's where I made a mistake. I went back to eating what I normally ate before the surgery. But I thought, it's okay, I can still eat this, but I'm just eating smaller portions, right? So I was just like, still losing weight. But I was like, oh, sweet, I can still eat the same stuff and lose weight. The weight was dropping off, but that was because I was 205 kilos. So anyone that's 205 kilos eating the portion size, the weight would come off. But I think it was like I'd lost 40 kilos after the sleeve and then it all stopped. Literally stopped. But I still want to lose another 60 kilos. What? And
you just stopped losing weight?
Stopped losing weight. I plateaued.
Yeah, okay. But you were still doing everything like you were doing it, but your body couldn't burn the fat.
Yeah, so it just got used to, the small portions and stuff like that. And it was my fault because, look, my dietitian told me, she said to me, before the surgery, and I knew this, she said to me, she's like, the gastric sleeve isn't magic. It's just a tool. It's going to help you. If you don't put in the hard work, you're not going to get the full benefits out of it, right? But me being me, just, sweet, it's still working. She doesn't know what she's talking about, whatever. But then when I plateaued and then it went on for over a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I plateaued for about 1.5 years. And I was like, I remember they said the sleeve really, you've got to really take advantage of your sleeve. I think it's like a 3-year window for it to get the full benefits out of it. After that, it kind of just stops working. So I was like,
your stomach just adapts and gets bigger again, maybe. Is that what happens?
Just if you overeat, there are people that if they do overeat, it stretches out again. Yeah.
My understanding of weight loss is just calorie deficit.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter if you're eating small portions but calorie dense food. It's still, you could easily, like a teaspoon of olive oil is like, 40 calories. You could easily consume calories. In small portions. So did you learn about that kind of?
That's when I started. That's, when I was frustrated, because I plateaued for so long, I got frustrated. So I went back to my dietitian's advice, remembered all that stuff. I found a booklet that she'd gave me before I had my surgery. So I fully just, looked into it and, how do I get the full benefits? And that's when I started really focusing on, I had to mix up my diet. I had to change obviously I was eating all the wrong foods and this was my problem and I wasn't
What were the
doing
wrong foods? Like when you say wrong food?
I was still eating like Hungry Jack's, McDonald's and stuff like that. But I was obviously, instead of, eating what I did before, it would be like 6 nuggets and a handful of chips. But it was still the wrong foods, you know?
So still bad habits.
Still bad habits.
Just in smaller portions.
And that's where I needed to, because that's what I thought. I'm only eating small portions and, why am I losing weight? But it wasn't until I went back and remembered what my dietitian said, it really it made sense. And that's when I just really needed to make big changes and really started focusing on what I'm putting into my body. You know what I mean? Like really focusing on eating high protein, low calorie meals, and mixing up my workout as well and doing that.
I haven't actually had Macca's in maybe like 8 or 9 years, but when I do have some sort of cheat meal, I feel shit. Like I feel shit as in serotonin production's lower and I definitely feel an incline in my general well-being, like mentally.
Yeah.
How were you feeling at that weight, eating that kind of food? Was it affecting your mental health, do you think, now looking back?
When I was like 205 kilos?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I would always say I would order Uber Eats all the time and just would get a big meal, like huge, or even when I'd go through a drive-through. And it was, at the time, I'm like, oh, cool, this will bring me joy and everything like that. And coming back from my childhood as well, that relationship that I had with food, it would bring me joy. But I remember it getting to the point where being at 205 kilos after it, I would regret it. I'd just feel depressed. I'd feel really disgusted with myself. I'd be really embarrassed as well. I just remember feeling like that, but then that would pass maybe after an hour.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'll have a bowl of ice cream. It was pretty bad.
Not so much the guilt of the eating of the food, more just feeling less depressed day to day. Were you, because I have a correlation between my diet, not when I'm eating the bad food, but how good I'm eating relates to how good I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Were you feeling down, not about the food, just in general? Were you not feeling, were you feeling depressed at the time or anxiety, or were you kind of feeling exactly how you're feeling now, just more overweight?
No, I was really depressed.
Yeah. Okay.
I was not happy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember a time where I was happy being at that weight. Every day was just a struggle. I wasn't happy at all. I legit hated myself. I just felt hopeless. You know what I mean? I just literally felt like my story was over. I got to that point where
were there any moments when you were 205 kilos where you did and you weren't eating, where you felt good?
I don't think so. I think the only times I ever felt good was with my dog. Memories that I have with my dog, but I didn't do anything. I was like a hermit, you know what I mean? I guess I got joy out of watching movies and stuff like that at home, but I don't remember it. I can't tell you if I don't think I just remember being more sad and depressed in that period of my life. I just felt like every day was just a constant struggle. It was hard to walk. I couldn't walk properly. I could barely breathe. Couldn't even put my shoes on.
Were you depressed because you were overweight, or was the overweight just like a byproduct of the depression from obviously the childhood traumas?
I think, a mix, I think. I think the weight definitely, I felt like I wasn't living my best life, like being that weight. It held me back. I wasn't doing, I just felt like this is not, like being a kid, like I had big dreams and stuff like that. And I felt like I'm getting older and I haven't ticked anything off my list that I, wanted to do as a kid. And, I had big dreams and I just felt like I was just wasting my life away.
What were some of those dreams?
I've always wanted to work in like the film industry. As a kid, I wanted to be like an actor. But then as I got a bit older, I liked behind the scenes, like directing, film editing and stuff like that. I find anything within the film industry interesting. So since losing the weight, I decided I am going to start going for my dreams, and I got accepted into one of the best film schools in Australia. So I'm doing my bachelor of film. So I'm pretty excited about that. Because that's one thing I said to myself, like, once you get to your goal, you need to start living your best life. You need to start going for your dreams. You need to make up for that lost time, because I've lost a lot of time, a lot of wasted years.
From an outside perspective, looking in at your story, and we have a lot of very successful people come on this podcast, and I think not even 99% of them, all of them have a story of hard beginnings, and that's what you've got an opportunity here to like use that as your fuel to your fire. And the most successful people in the world have that early trauma, and they use that. It's an option that you have. You've got a superpower right now that not everyone has. You've got a superpower to use that fuel to your fire to become one of the most successful people, because the most successful people every time come from adversity. Not sometimes, every time. You have a superpower that you need to take full advantage of.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that.
Yeah. Like you can see it. It's very, very clear. You can see it. Like, you've got a hard story, and I can see, you've struggled to talk about it, but that's your superpower. When someone can fly, they don't struggle to talk about it. They're like, I can fucking fly. That's your superpower. Sit here, talk about it, embrace it. No, that's where I come from. This is who I am.
Yeah.
That's you. You can't change it.
Yeah.
It's exactly who you are. Don't be scared to talk about it. Sit here. That's my story, and I'm going to fucking use that as my fire. And that's what you need to do, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it. It's a clear story, but what you write next is up to you.
Yes.
You need to really use this as much as you can.
Yeah. That's why I've never told anyone like what I'm talking to you guys about today. Like, I've never I'm close friends and stuff like that, but I've never really spoke about it. And that's why when, I was asked to come on, like this is my first podcast. I've never really spoke about my life, and I was really nervous too. But I think it is important for me to, it is my story, and it's
a blessing that you've come here, man, and for us and for you.
Yeah.
I feel like the coming weeks, this is going to be big energy release for you, man. You're going to feel a lot lighter, a lot happier.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now? I know I mentioned when you were overweight, you weren't obviously feeling good and anxious and depressed. How are you feeling now?
I feel really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Life's
to hear that.
changed so much for me. Like, when I was 205 kilos, I felt trapped, like I was a prisoner in my own body. Like, every day I felt like I was drowning. But now I feel free. Like, I love myself. I know I'm worthy, and I'm a different, I'm still the same person. I'm just a different version of myself. I'm a better version of myself. Because I've always been the same person. Losing the weight, I didn't lose myself. I just uncovered a version of me that's always been there. It's just been buried away. So, yeah, I'm a lot happier.
Discipline is like the number one form of self-love. So like the lack of discipline is the exact opposite. So like by not showing yourself love, by not respecting yourself, there's the repercussions of the weight. And then you're like living that life of, like you said, being stuck. Even if you had the moment where you wanted to change, you can't just make the change instant, because to get rid of the weight requires so much discipline. And to come back from all the lack of discipline that you've showed yourself. And like, that's what I believe to be hell, you know, like when you live, you're experiencing life in hell, but then through the discipline and making the right choices daily, like every decision counts, you know, towards this, like every meal, how much you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, the nutrient density in the food, 100%. The whole lot, it all just comes together. And then now you're on the opposite side of the spectrum. You have full discipline. And as long as you're constantly experiencing yourself in discipline, in a state of discipline, then you'll constantly feel good, because it's that energy that you're giving out, you bring back in. Even us, like how much do we know, like day to day, even like the times where we feel the worst or the negative energies coming in, it's because we've lacked discipline, you know?
Even from a vibrational perspective, when you're putting low vibrational foods inside you, you're going to feel like low vibrational energy. When you're eating good, clean food, it relates to like you're higher vibrational. We're vibrational beings. Eating high vibrational food, you're going to feel the high, you know, when you eat a good meal, you feel good.
100%.
You know, when you're eating shit food, you feel shit. It's just the way of the universe, man. It's just the way things go. And Jonathan hit the nail on the head that discipline is the number one form of self-love. So 100%. You became disciplined with yourself. You would have been proud, like, fuck yeah, I did this. And you start to love yourself. And it's so really clear to see.
I was a lot kinder to myself as well, like during this journey. I looked before, and I feel like that before I plateaued and I was still eating all the, you know, the wrong foods and stuff like that, I didn't realize, still, you know, would put myself down and stuff like that. But then when I really started tapping into self-love and being kind to myself, I realized, and when I wasn't being too hard on myself, it just made the journey a lot easier for me to commit. You know, if I slipped up, it's like, don't worry about that. It's fine. You're doing amazing. The progress you've made, just get back on it tonight, or, you know, and just don't let it ruin everything. You know, like there was a lot of,
So you spoke about after you got the surgery, you hit a plateau. I think you said at around 140 kilos, 150
It was like
kilos?
135.
130.
Yeah.
So what was your driving force? What was it that said, okay, I'm going to, like, you know, you slip up, let's get back on it. You slip up. What was the driving force for you that got you through that?
It was, I've spent a lot of money getting this gastric sleeve surgery, right? And I always had the vision of me getting down to 85 kilos. And I'm below that now, like I'm 75. But my goal was always 85. That was my goal weight. And I wasn't there. And I was like, I said to myself that I would get to 85 kilos. So it was important to me to finish what I set out to do, you know? And then that's what really got me. And then I also freaked out that the sleeve stops working after a period of time. Like, you know, you've got that window of opportunity to really take advantage of it and get the full benefits out of it. So that really like lit a fire like under my butt. So I fully just went in and just
You remind me of a couple people and a very successful people. This is just an evaluation again for me. And Jono may agree because we speak about this particular type of person.
Yeah.
We got a friend of ours, very, very successful, but whatever he does, he's all in. He's like, if he's doing fighting, he'll be the best fighter. Like he'll do specific things. If he's like drinking, he'll drink like no one can drink like him. If he's on drugs, he becomes a junkie. Like everything he does, so when he's successful, he becomes really successful.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, you're like, when you're eating, you're all in on eating. Like that was what you were doing. Now that you're losing weight, you're like all in, you're 75 kilos. Do you think that that's like when you're in something, you're all in or like, do you think that that's kind of?
For the first time in my life, yes.
Yeah,
like this is why I'm really proud of myself, because I went in hard and I fought every single day. Like I did not give in. It was losing. Look, the sleeve helped me lose that 40. But then when it plateaued, I proved to myself it wasn't just the sleeve. I put in all this extra hard work to fully, get to my goal. And I went in hard. I literally was weighing everything. My friends thought I was nuts. I literally weighed everything. I was reading labels. I was eating. I just had the biggest respect for my body. I was only putting in good foods. I was doing research. I was up for hours. I was creating my own recipes, come up with my own desserts that all my friends love now and stuff like that.
That was the true awakening.
That was the, yeah. And even though like I got to 85, I was like, now I'm 75. I'm still going. I love this new lifestyle change for me. Like for me, the foods that I'm eating are really good. And honestly, they feel like I'm cheating. It's, like I've got no interest in going to McDonald's or KFC. Like the old me would have loved that. They're like my ultimate favorites. But my mindset's so different now. And it was fully going in at 100, just saying, you've got to do this. You've got to do it for yourself, and that's what I did. And I'm not going to lie, it was hard. Every day was a struggle, but I don't know, I just proved to myself that I could do it. And I got there in the end. So
at what point could you start loving yourself? Like at what point were you able to say, I'm giving myself love?
It was, so after I'd plateaued, I wanted to just really change everything, not just food and not just workouts, like that's fine. But I wanted to dig deeper than that, So that's when I started looking into like self-love, and I was sick of putting myself down. Like I didn't want to put myself down anymore. And I'd always see people talking about self-love and I'm like, oh, what is, you know what I mean? Like you love yourself. What are you talking about? And it wasn't until, like I looked into it, like that makes sense. Like I should be kinder to myself. I should be, my biggest supporter, my biggest motivator. And I literally started, like just little things. Like if I, saw myself in the mirror, I'd say high five, I love you. Like you're doing well. Like I would look nuts to everyone else, but I didn't care. You know what I mean?
And those moments of that, like giving yourself love in the mirror, at what point was it? Like, were you far into the journey or were you still overweight at that point?
Oh yeah. Like I was still like maybe, it was literally when I decided that I needed to just mix everything up. So I was about 135 kilos.
Yeah. Okay. So you were halfway there.
I was halfway there. Yeah. So that's why I said, when I fully committed, because remember I was saying before when I had the surgery, I was still eating the wrong shit. Just smaller portions, thinking it was fine. But then when I plateaued for so long, I was like, this is where I really need to mix everything up. And I knew that it was diet, exercise, but it needed to be more than that. And that's when I started exploring like self-love and just, realizing my self-worth and stuff like that.
Spirituality? What was your relationship like with God as well?
Good. I see myself like have my own relationship with God, and I do like I started, and I've been doing this since the all the self-love. Like every morning that I wake up, I'll always thank God for another day, and that I'm grateful for another day, and I also thank my angels as well because I know that I've got a lot of angels around me, so it's always God and my angels. But
beautiful.
Yeah. No, every morning, without fail, I'll always say, I'm so thankful for another day. I'm so grateful to be alive because I know I literally nearly died. You know what I mean? I know how close I was. And so to still be here and finally, like I've smashed my goal. I'm way below 85 now. But I'm just grateful for that because I still remember, laying on the floor saying, God, I don't want to die, you know? And
did you have a relationship with God when you were overweight as well?
Oh yeah, I've always, yeah.
So you've always had a connection with.
Yeah, I've always had a connection. I don't go to church. I don't go to church, but I have always had my own relationship with God. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like everyone. Every individual has their own relationship with God.
Exactly.
I'm not the only one. I've always felt like I've just had my own relationship with God. I have,
you can't have someone else's relationship. Huh?
Yeah.
But do you feel like your connection with God has gotten stronger since this, like through this journey?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And that's why I thank him every day. Like I do without fail, I think. And before bed too. But
I think that's a massive part of the healing journey.
If I haven't passed out, but definitely every morning.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Sorry?
I think that's a massive part of the healing journey. That what you're saying right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the techniques? Like what are some of the foods that you're making these days that you can pass on? Like, and what were the techniques to actually lose the weight? Like you're weighing things, but did you go vegan at all?
No.
Nothing like that?
No, I couldn't do vegan. I remember once I did try all that plant-based stuff. I just couldn't do it. I did it maybe 3 days and I was just like, oh. You could just tell, even though it looked like a sausage, you just knew it wasn't. But no, I really focused in on, my main thing was I've always loved food, right? I've always loved food. And so my main thing was look for foods that I made my main focus. I wanted to be high protein, obviously with the gastric sleeve, everything had to be high protein, but low calorie, So I just started looking at recipes on TikTok, and then I was like, oh shit, there's so much you can do with cottage cheese now. And
cottage cheese.
Greek yogurt. Wow, I didn't know you could mix that with that and blend it.
There was a time you couldn't get cottage cheese at the supermarket.
Tell me about it. I know.
God, it went crazy.
It would piss me off. Same with some yogurt as well. But I remember the cottage cheese.
Went viral.
That went for weeks. Yeah. That was annoying because pretty much everything I was eating had cottage cheese. So I was like, what the fuck do I do now?
Everyone was watching the same TikToks.
And I just started having fun with food. That was a big thing for me as well. On this journey, I had to have fun because diets in the past were always miserable for me. And I didn't want it to be another miserable diet. I wanted it to be something that I enjoyed doing. So it didn't feel like a diet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's why I did a lot of, rather than just going to the gym, I did other activities like going to the beach, rollerblading. I would dance in the lounge room and stuff like that. I can't dance for shit, but like I would still do it, and I just got enjoyment out of that. So I just wanted to make it fun. And that's what I wanted with food too. I wanted to eat fun foods. And like I said before, like it feels like I'm cheating because the foods are good. Like I make pizzas, I make, the desserts will probably be my favorite though. Like I've come up with these awesome desserts. They're pretty much just yogurt mixed with jelly, and then I'll do some.
That too.
And then I was inspired by someone on TikTok, and then I saw that, and I was like, okay, well I can do this one. Well, aeroplane jelly have this flavor. I can do this and this. And there's a light custard now, and I've got like about 10. And I just started making them for friends and family, and they're all obsessed. Like legit.
Was your main theory behind weight loss, was it calorie deficit? Because it sounds like obviously everything you're doing was
I started.
Based.
No, I did. I went calorie deficit.
Cool,
Like I just wanted to stick to under 7. I stick to 1,700 calories a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you're still doing that now?
I'm still doing that now.
Wow.
Yeah. I've just kept going. Like I said, I got to the point where now I feel like this isn't a diet. It's just a lifestyle change, and I enjoy it. And I feel so much better eating this stuff. I don't miss all the junk. And I never thought I would ever say that in my whole life. And that's why I'm so grateful that I can.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was just doomed because I'd spent years and years and years trying to lose weight and just got the sleeve and then still continued my bad habits.
Yeah.
But now doing it properly, it's just been a huge game changer for me.
Yeah. If I'm going to go rewind the clock again. So if you could go back to you when you were 8 years old in some of your darkest moments, what would you today say to you back then? It's good to feel. Good to feel.
I just didn't feel love growing up. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't feel like I was good enough. But I would say you are loved. I know that sounds cliche, but how I feel right now. I just needed love so much when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I did get it, but I just think I went through so much abuse. I think that's a lot of my childhood. That's all I remember. I don't remember a lot of love. You know what I mean? But I would say you're loved and you'll get through this. You will live a hard life. You will struggle with your weight, but you'll get through it and you'll prove yourself. And you'll finally start to live all those dreams that you're dreaming of right now. And you're going to make them all happen. But it's okay. And you'll never have to go through what you're going through right now ever again. Yeah.
I feel like your 8-year-old self just heard that.
Yeah. That's healing what you just went through, bro. That's healing. And you really you took on that task very well. You embraced that task better than most.
That was hard. Thank you.
Not to
What were you feeling at that age? Like at 8 years old, like obviously like the lack of love, but what does an 8-year-old feel at that time, you know, being physically abused by someone who's meant to be the father figure?
There was fear. Like it was, if I was to pick a word, it would be fear. I was constantly scared. Like I was always on edge. Like I didn't like being at home. You know what I mean? No matter what I did, no matter what I said, I was always getting into trouble. Like I would escape and go to my grandparents' place whenever I could. I felt safe there. I didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
I didn't feel safe, and I should feel safe.
It's not how an 8-year-old should feel.
No,
at all,
yeah. And that's why when I see my nephews and nieces and they're, have this beautiful childhood and they're safe in their environment, they're getting all this love and stuff. It takes me back to when I was 8 and I didn't get any of that. You know what I mean? Like it was horrific. It was.
Yeah. It's all you really knew too.
Yeah. And they're just some of the example, of what I went through. Like I've got hundreds of them.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Were there any moments where he was good to you? Or was there any moments where you actually did feel like he might love you?
Never. I never felt that he did love me.
Yeah.
The only memory that I have, I think I was like 4 or 5 and he was teaching me how to ride a bike. And that's the only good memory that I think I do have of him.
Yeah.
I remember being a young age and was going through a photo album. I think it was at my grandparents' place, his parents. I never stayed there. It was always my mum's side, my nana and pop. That's who I'd stay with. His parents, I didn't really have much of a relationship because his father I never even spoke to it. Like I would go there for like Christmas and stuff like that. And his father wouldn't even talk to me.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like it was just, so I never spoke. I don't even think I said hello to him. Like,
yeah,
it was weird. But no, sorry, I just lost my train. What were we going?
I don't even.
It was, if he ever loved you, was it?
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry.
Nice.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
There was a time when I was going through their photo album at his parents' place. And I remember seeing all these photos of him when he was younger, maybe in like his 20s, 30s. And he was like on the beach, like having fun with this kid, like playing with this kid, like tackling this kid and he's smiling and happy and this kid's all happy. I didn't even know who the kid was. It might have been family on their side or whatever. I didn't know who it was. And I remember that particular moment because it really made me sad. Like I was crushed when I saw that. And I remember thinking to myself, why isn't he like this with me? You know, and I remember feeling that as a kid going, why? He's got it in him, but why is he choosing not to do this with me? And instead he wants to like beat me.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything that you wanted as a kid, he wanted as a kid. You've got the same story in a weird way. You've just broken through, like I said before, but he doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
He's grown up the same way you have.
Yeah.
You know, that's all he knows.
And that's spot on.
And you know, straight away. It's so, and he's drinking alcohol because he's trying to escape from his traumas. He's got things that he needs to deal with.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how, doesn't have the tools, hasn't gone through the journey that you have now gone through.
Yeah.
He's suffering more than anyone. You know, he's suffering and, you know, he's gone through it too. You have to, and it's unfortunate and it's not your problem. But it's the solution for you. It's something that, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility of how you take that, you know. It's never your fault. But now you're a grown up, it's your responsibility to, and good on you for taking the right path and continue to thrive through that and grow. And like I said, use that as your fire, man. Because it's it might not seem like it, and it might seem vain for me to say this, but it's your blessing. It is your blessing. And believe it or not. Yeah. You will everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. If I had to go through that to get to where I am today, like, yes, I'm grateful for that. You know.
And it might not be one day down the line where, you know, you're so blessed that you look back and you're like, man, he made me who I am today. And that's, like I said, you'll get further than most because you've been through more than most. Yeah. It's like I said, it's your superpower. Yeah. And it is. It's so clear to see.
And the fact that you've forgiven him, like you've been given something that's like unforgivable, you know, but you've taken that on. Yeah. How is forgiveness something that's just a feeling, or was there actually like a practice to be able to get to the point of forgiveness?
I really had to dig deep with that, because you could just say, I forgive you, and then it's just like, I still feel the same, you know what I mean? Where I knew that my weight issue stems from the abuse that I went through. And then my weight issue is what's held me back in life, and I haven't been going for my dreams and stuff like that. It was like, you really need to forgive because you've wasted way too much time, and he still has that control, and I didn't want that over me anymore. Even though I haven't seen him in so long, he still had that control, and it was still, you know, holding me back. But it's just when I fully just started digging in and, you know, loving myself, I was like, no, you don't need to hold on to this. Like you were saying before, it's just poison. It's just holding you back. Just release it. Just forgive him. You don't have to see him ever again. And I really it wasn't like I spent a few days just really, I forgive you. Like, I forgive you. I would say it over and over and over. And I was just trying to like picture just releasing the pain. Oh, sorry. Releasing the pain, the trauma, and everything that he put me through. Like, I just would visualize that just being, I know it sounds crazy, but just get off me. Like, I don't want anything to do with it anymore, you know? So I really, really had to, I don't know. And I did feel a lot better. Like, I did feel, and like I was saying, I just didn't want to say it once, all right, I forgive you, whatever. Like, I really wanted to think about what do I need to forgive him for? Yeah. How it's affected me, what it's done to me. And then when I realized that it had no more power over me, like, that's when it was gone.
Could you feel love for him?
I try to love everybody because kindness is like really important to me, you know, like, and that's why I've started this page, because I just want to help inspire other people to, you know, have the chance to live their best lives and that. Look, right now, probably no, but I wouldn't rule it out because, like I said, I don't know. I don't think I could. Like what I went through was just very like traumatic. Brutal.
If you could leave him with a message today, what would you say to him?
I'll never understand how you were able to do what you did. And at this point, I always wanted to know why he did it. You know what I mean? Like why? And I obviously know now it's just, you know, repeating history and stuff like that. But I've got to that point where I don't even want to know that. It's just, look, what you did was disgusting. And I'm sure you know that now. And I hope you regret doing what you did. No child should ever go through what I went through. But I do forgive you. I've moved on from it. I've healed from it. And it no longer affects me anymore. You know what I mean? So you go do you and I'll do me and sit back and watch me thrive.
God bless.
You know?
God bless.
I'm going to win.
Yeah, man. Good on you, man. Well done.
It's just, you know, I've never really thought about that if I had the opportunity to, you know, if I bumped into him or, you know, saw him, like what I would say. Before, I always thought like I would just run up, you know, like that was it, you know. I'm like, you'd be 70 now, I can take you on. Like,
let who you become from it be the revenge. Even though you don't need revenge, but let you become, use that as your fuel. Let that be what drives you. That is your revenge, is your success.
Yeah. 100%.
That's the best revenge.
It's the best, yeah. I agree.
Is who you become from that.
100%.
And then when you're at the top, you say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you did. Because if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be at the top.
That's it.
That's it. You got to have that mentality.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, it just, you know, it just doesn't control me anymore. And that's a blessing in itself where, you know, my whole life it did. And just, I feel like it did ruin a big chunk, but now I've got my life back and I am living my best life. I'm still young, whatever. And, you know, I'm going for my dreams now and nothing's going to stop me.
I feel like your journey's only just begun.
It's just beginning. That's
begun.
it. Yeah. So my story wasn't over. Like I'm ready for my next chapter, you know. So,
you've lost 130 kilos.
130.
Over 130 kilos. What is that next chapter? What are you working on now other than the film school? What are some things you're doing and how are you going to give back?
So what I want to do next is obviously continue on with my studies and, you know, do that. I've started this account on Instagram and TikTok to help inspire others with my story, which only started like a couple of weeks ago and I've had a good response from it.
You're here now.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh shit, I've only been doing it for a week and I'm already being invited onto a podcast. I'm like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I'm, you know, but you know, I want to continue to, I just believe like if you do good things come back to you, you know, like if you're kind, I really just want to do good, help other people. I want people to know that are in my situation that I was in 3 years ago to know that there is still hope.
Yeah.
Like your story isn't over. You know what I mean? Like there's still a chance for you to be living your best life as well. And I'm proof of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do. I want to focus on that.
Just quickly to touch on that, just to give you a bit of a confidence boost, Pam, who runs all of our podcasts, she saw you and your story and she's like, man, this guy's going to blow up. Get him on here before he blows up to give you a bit of a boost. So you're on the right path.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just, you know, a little nervous because I've only been doing it for 2 weeks.
That's great. Hey, good on you, man.
I was like, but I'm saying yes to everything now.
Good.
Before I said no, but now I want to say yes to every opportunity. I'm not holding back. Nothing's going to stop me now. Like that's the mentality that I want to keep and keep going with. And I just want to, just continue thriving and just prove myself that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And that's been a blessing as well. Like once I got, well below my goal weight, I was like, I did that. Like my whole life, like I've struggled with my weight and I finally did it. You know what I mean? And it was a long journey. It was really hard. But now that I've done that, I proved to myself that I can do anything and go do anything I want and just win at life. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what I want to do next.
It's crazy how like hard being that big, it would make it like life would be being that big. And then now you've got all this extra energy, you'd be feeling good. Like it's a whole different, like it's harder to maintain it because you got to like put the effort into what you eat and think about things before you do them. But it's just such a like.
I almost feel like running through a wall for you. G'd up for you.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, no, it is the best feeling.
It's an inspiring story, man.
Yeah,
good work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's uplifted my energy. So
yeah.
And I can feel that, you can take this where you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Play wisely.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got the superpower.
Thank you. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that.
You should.
Yeah. Because I never saw it like that. Like I always saw it.
When you start to review people's stories, we sit here once a week and I see it every day in, day out. And it's the most successful people. Like Jake Paul comes to mind. His dad, he was abusive as a child. And now look, he's one of the biggest influences in the world. And he says, it's because my dad was abusive that I am who I am today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his dad was abusive. Yeah.
Okay.
And he talks about it. And he forgives his dad. He loves his dad. And he says, that's why I am who I am today, because I went through so much adversity that like life is now easy, being world boxing champion is now easy because I went through so much hardship.
Yeah.
And it made me hard. It made me tough. And it's just a common story, man. A lot of people go through adversity. That's the biggest come up. So,
I love that. I'm going to
keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Lots of love. And if there's any way we can support, let us know.
Thank you for popping your cherry with that.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm so grateful that you
likewise. Thank you, bro.
had me on.
God bless.
God bless,
Thank you.
man.
God bless. Bye.